guys, today we're going to be doing our ranking of every killer in DBD. So here are the tiers. The first one is Absolute Peak Entertainment, which is obviously the top one. Then we have Extremely Fun, almost all of the time. And then we have They're fun to use sometimes. And then they aren't that fun to use at all. And then there's Who Invited This Killer? Because, they're just not that fun to use. And so apparently we're starting off with Trapper. And Trapper, I don't use him very often, but I played him a few times. He's kind of fun. I like the way he can just I just like how he can place traps. I like his ability. His ability's pretty nice. So I'm gonna put him in. They're fun to use sometimes. I just put it there because I don't really play him that much, so I don't really have a valid opinion on him. And then we have the Wraith, which is a pretty fun killer. I like how he can go invisible. He's just a pretty good killer all around. He's going in Extremely Fun almost all the time. And then we have the Hillbilly. And the Hillbilly, he's good, but he's really hard to hit people with his ability, in my opinion. I just don't like how it's like one straight line. That's kind of annoying to me. But it's fine. He's going in. They're fun to use sometimes. Then we have the Nurse. The Nurse's blink ability is very fun to use. I like it a lot. Very cool. I think I'm gonna put the Nurse. I'm not sure. I'm gonna put the Nurse in Extremely Fun to use almost all the time, right behind the Wraith. I really, really do like the Shape. The Shape is a very fun killer. I really like the Shape. So I'm gonna put him. I'm gonna put him in front of the Wraith. The Wraith is the Shape is one of my favorite killers because his modes are very cool. I like his slasher mode, I think it was called. I can't really remember, but I like his abilities and stuff. He's a very cool killer. He's pretty good for starters as well. And then we have the Hag. Honestly, I don't think I've used the Hag that much. I don't really know, so I'm just gonna put them in. They aren't that fun to use because I don't really know how she works yet. I might make a video on her at some point. And then we have the Doctor. The Doctor is pretty fun to use, honestly. I like him. I like his shock ability. I think it's called electrotherapy. I'm not sure. I'm gonna put them behind the Hillbilly, and they're fun to use sometimes. And then we have the Huntress. Her axe ability is very cool. I like how she can trick shot with it and whatnot. It's very nice. I'm gonna put her in Extremely Fun to use all the time in front of the Nurse. And then we have Bubba. Bubba's a lot like the Hillbilly. I feel like they should be in the same area because they both have similar abilities. Honestly, though, I do like the Hillbilly a little bit more, so I'm going to put him in front. Because if I'm not mistaken, you can move the Hillbilly a little bit more when you're using your chainsaw ability than when you're using Bubba. Then we have the Nightmare. And the Nightmare, I think, is very cool because he can summon fake pallets and trick the survivors. And I think it also damages them when they flip it, or it does something to them. I can't exactly remember what it was that it does to them, but I do know it does something. So I'm gonna put. I really like him. I'm gonna put him behind the Shape. I'm gonna put him behind Michael Myers. And then we have the Pig from Saw. I think it was. I don't use the Pig too much, but I do know a little bit about them, and they're pretty fun, honestly. I'm gonna put them in Extremely Fun to use all the time. Almost all the time, sorry. The Clown. I like the Clown's potions. he's very simple. He's a very simple killer. I like the way his abilities go. I like how he can slow down the survivors and speed himself up. Very good killer all around. I'm going to put him in extremely fun to use all the time. I'm going to put him in front of the Wraith, actually. And then we have the Spirit. And the Spirit is pretty fun, but I don't use him too much, honestly. I don't think I've used them very much. So I'm going to put him in front of the Hag. And they're fun to use, or they aren't that fun to use. And then the Legion. I love the Legion's design. Honestly, I think the Legion's pretty fun. I do main the Legion. But it's kind of annoying because mess up one single time and your frenzy is immediately over. It's kind of hard, you know. So I'm going to put them in. They aren't that fun to use right about the Hag. And then we have the Plague. I do like the vomit ability. That is pretty cool. I'm gonna put them in front of the Huntress. No, I'm gonna put them behind the Huntress actually. And then we have Ghostface. I also main Ghostface. His ability is kind of basic, you know, and it's kind of hard to get off. So I'm gonna put him. I don't know. I'm gonna put them behind Freddy Krueger because I made them, you know, so they have to be a little bit fun in my opinion. So I'm just gonna put them behind Freddy Krueger. And then we have the Demogorgon. And the Demogorgon is very cool. The portal ability is awesome. The lunge ability is very cool. I'm gonna say they're fun to use sometimes, and I'm gonna put them in front of the Doctor. The Oni. I like the Oni. I like the way how you can, I think it's collecting their blood, like those red ores. I think you're collecting their blood. I'm not sure, though. So I'm going to put them in... I'm going to put them in extremely fun to use almost all the time in front of the pig. Because I don't think I mentioned it, but the baton ability is very cool as well. Deathslinger. Deathslinger is very, very fun. Oops, sorry. Deathslinger is very, very fun. I like him very much. I like the way that you can pull them, even when they're kind of through walls. Kind of. I'm gonna put them in there. They're fun to use sometimes behind the Doctor, because I do think they're fun, but you know, it's just basic. It's a basic killer. Pyramid Head. I don't use Pyramid Head too much. I'm not gonna lie. I know he has some sort of spike ability, I'm pretty sure, but I'm not entirely sure. So I'm just gonna put them in there, fun to use sometimes, because I do know they're a fun killer. I just haven't really got to it yet. Okay, the Blight and the Blight. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not that great at the Blight. This might just be a skill issue. It probably is. I suck at the Blight so bad. So I just have to put them up there. That fun to use. And then we have the Twins. The Twins are really annoying to go against in my opinion, but they're a pretty fun killer to use. I can't remember his name. The little guy's fun to use. Let's see, I don't know where to put him. I'm just gonna put him behind the Demogorgon. And we have the Trickster. The Trickster, he's very unfun to go against. He did get a little bit funner in the new update, I think, in my opinion. The way there's rankings now, that's pretty cool. So maybe they're fun to use sometimes, in the far back. The Nemesis. I really like the Nemesis, but I'm not sure where to put him. Honestly, I like Resident Evil. I like the Nemesis. He's a fun killer to use. I'm gonna put the Nemesis on absolute peak entertainment. And then we have Pinhead. Pinhead. I'm gonna put Pinhead on. They're fun to use sometimes, just because I mean, they're fun to use sometimes. Like, that's, I don't know. I like their chain ability. I do like them sometimes. You know, they're pretty cool thing. Pretty cool killer. Their chain ability is pretty cool. I like how they can grab people. The cube is kind of confusing in my opinion. It's kind of confusing in my opinion. I don't really get it fully, you know. So, yeah, that's just I'm just gonna put it there. And then we have the painter. I'm gonna put the painter. Honestly, I don't think I've used the painter very much, so I'm just gonna put them there on that fun to use at the end. Not because they're not fun to use, just because I haven't played them yet. And then we have the Onryo. And the Onryo, they're pretty cool. I like the TVs. Honestly, are a little bit confusing, so I'm going to put them behind the Trickster. I'm going to put them in front of the Trickster, because they're very confusing in my opinion. And then we have the Dredge. The Dredge is very fun to use. I like how it can, like, teleport and whatnot. I think he can teleport, I'm pretty sure. He's very fun to use. I'm gonna put him in between the Doctor and the Pinhead. We have Wesker. Wesker's really fun. I like how he can, like, do tricks and stuff with him. I'm gonna put him in extremely fun to use almost all the time behind Ghostface. And then we have the Knight. I like the Knight, and I like how he can spawn, like, guards, I think they're called. He's just pretty fun to use all around. I'm going to put him in extremely fun to use almost all the time, in front of Wesker. And then we have the Artist. The Artist, I don't use very much. I'm just going to be completely honest. I'm going to put them in, they're fun to use sometimes because I genuinely just don't know. Singularity, they're fun to use. I like how they can spawn, like, those little camera things, I think they are. I'm going to put them behind the Knight. Or I'm going to put them behind the Wesker, honestly. Then we have the Alien, the Xenomorph. Honestly, I'm not really sure. I like how they can spit poison. That's pretty cool. Their tail thing, like their tail pierce, I think it's called, or whatever. That's pretty cool. I'm just gonna put them in front of Wesker, because why not? Chucky. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really like Chucky that much. I'm sorry. I might just be a little bit biased. I just don't like Chucky, man. And then we have the Unknown. I'm sorry. I like the killer. I like the killer's design. He's actually so dope. But he's just kind of trash, man. I can't use him in, like, a single lobby without getting, like, destroyed. Like all 4 survivors. That might just be another skill issue. I'm not really sure. But, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think that's the best place I can put Unknown for right now. And then we have the Lich, I think it's called. Well, it's Vecna from D&D. And honestly, I really like D&D. I really like playing this guy because of how much variety and how unique he is. I'm going to put him in absolute peak entertainment, honestly. That's where I'm going to put him. And then we have Dracula, I think. And I'm going to put Dracula. Honestly, I'm just going to put him in there fun to use sometimes because I don't think I've used him, like, one singular time. Maybe I've used him, like, twice. I'm just going to put him right here. Springtrap, absolute peak entertainment. I think that's all that needs to be said. Houndmaster, I don't know, man. They're pretty dope, honestly. The way you can like control their dog and like have the dog like latch onto them, it's pretty cool. Problem is, where do I put this person though? You know, that's the hardest part. So, I don't know. I'm just gonna put him in extremely fun to use almost all the time, like behind the nurse. And then we have Tokyo Ghoul, the Ghoul, whatever you want to call him. Honestly, he's really fun. I like him. He's a pretty fun killer. I haven't used him very often, so, I used him when he came out, like, first, and I kind of stopped using him after that. But I think he's a pretty fun killer to use, so I'm just going to put him there. And then we have the Krasu, which I don't think I've used very much. I'm going to be honest. But I've used them like once or twice. I like how you can like go into the head and like fly around and stuff. That's pretty cool. I'm just going to put him behind the Houndmaster, honestly. Vecna, absolute peak entertainment. Nothing more needs to be said. But I'm going to say some more anyway. What was I gonna say? I like the way he can like use the like circle vine thing and like he can just damage an entire area. That's pretty cool. I like how he can like go underground and then pop up and attack a certain area with vines. That's also pretty cool. The clock thing, awesome. Yeah, he's just so fun. He's very unique. He's a very unique killer. Honestly, I think he's awesome. Now, we have this guy right here, Jason Voorhees. And to be honest, I haven't played them like at all yet. So I'm just gonna put him at absolute peak entertainment. I'm very hyped to play him. He seems like a cool killer. And I'm going to make a video about him very, very soon, so be on the lookout for that. And, yeah, that's all, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and peace out.